How to humble a player and crush his ego. If you're dating a player or an F-boy and you're looking for ways to humble him and crush his ego, then make sure you watch this video till the end. Let me say this guy played you, he used you, he made a fool out of you, and you're looking for different ways to get your league back. This video is the ultimate league back. Make sure you watch this video till the end. A group of very handsome men and beautiful ladies had some very interesting points to share. I'm going to be sharing mine at the end of the video. You want to stay tuned till the end. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Drop your thoughts in the comment section. I'm dying to see them, and I'm going to see you guys at the end.
You see, in order for him to really fall in love with you in a way that he will have a hard time forgetting you, you have to hurt his ego. If he says, I'm that type of person, I'll never go out with a girl who takes a long time to text me back, or that kind of stuff, then you got to make him feel like he's breaking his own rules. That means that you take 10 hours to respond. That means that you cancel 1 out of every 3 or 4 dates. That means that you do not show up to the date and then you come up with some bullshit excuse. The point is that if he takes your bullshit, in his mind, he's going to say, the reason why I am taking her bullshit is because I like her a lot. And he'll backward rationalize that he loves you. Hurting his ego, destroying a guy's ego will create the toxic type of attraction that he'll have to go to his goddamn therapist in order to get over you.
Good morning to all the beautiful queens out there. I have a brand new idea on how to make a man feel like shit. If a man is playing games with you, this is what you're gonna do. On the day that he posts his fresh haircut and you know that he's feeling himself, because I'm telling you, even the ugliest men swear that they are God's gift after getting a haircut. After he posts the story of his new haircut, you unfollow him. You unfollow him right after you view it, and then you also remove him as a follower. Okay, so do that, and trust me, he will be thinking about it for a long time. You're welcome.
The first one, right after a breakup, only repost things that has nothing to do with your emotional state. So say you're sad or mad, literally just repost sunset pictures. Repost maybe beaches. Repost maybe like a luxury lifestyle. This dude is gonna be in his head like, every other girl I was breaking up with, she was reposting TikToks about, you know what I'm saying, relationship stuff, this, that, trying to make me jealous. And this girl's reposting stuff about sunset. That'll make him so mad. The second one. Now, this one is only if the relationship is toxic. Literally, ladies, only if the relationship is toxic. You know what I'm saying? If y'all have fallouts a couple times, that's not that point. But if you know it's toxic, y'all, you know what I'm saying, he cheated on you and this, that, and the third, and you're back with him. Instead of cheating back, literally block this dude and focus on your big one. Like literally, he's going to wake up one night and just be blocked. And then he's going to go on IG and watch you. That's why I tell y'all, if you want to see who's watching you, press the arrow, then scroll over to Instagram direct. That's just the easiest way to tell. But then, like I said, after you block him, you need to show him you can do better without him. The third one, start getting more high value men. A lot of these men y'all mess with, they be at the club all day. They be doing this, they be doing that. Once you pop out with a man who's got his life together, he's following Jesus Christ, he's going to want to come back, but he's not going to get you back. But the only way you can really do that is start changing your life. Stop going to these clubs, get your life together. That's what I'm willing to teach you. Go to my IG and DM me the word ecom. 3 ways to literally humble any guy that ghosted you, rejected you, broke your heart. Now, a lot of guys, they don't realize what they did. You know what I'm saying? So sometimes you're going to make them realize what they missed out on and just humble them. So I say the first thing to do is make him realize who he is. A lot of these guys y'all be dating, they be complete buffoons. They're bums. And they won't realize that until you change your lifestyle. Now he wants to change his lifestyle. Or you change your lifestyle, and now he knows you're untouchable. So something I recommend is God first. You know what I'm saying? Maybe get your body right. That creates a different surrounding. Now you're surrounding yourself with gym people, with people who work hard. And just get your money up. I made this since July 9th. Y'all are gonna ask what I do. I literally run online stores. I have a brand, I do drop shipping, I do all kinds of different stuff. And I'm about to get into real estate here soon. But it's like now I'm on a different, literally, level than girls who did me wrong. And it's not like to flex on anything like that, but it's taking the right route. A lot of these girls, what they do, y'all, you break up with these guys or you get heartbroken, and you humble him by going out to parties and going out and drinking and smoking, maybe even going out to Miami for a weekend and trying to make somebody jealous. It doesn't work. I'm telling you, get your soul right, get your body right, and get your bag up.
Want to break a man's ego? It's simple. Be unbothered. Nothing shatters a fragile ego faster than a woman who doesn't flinch when he pulls back. No dramatic texts. No, we need to talk. Just silence and a glow up. The moment he realizes you're thriving without his attention, that ego starts to crack. Because men expect reactions. When you give them nothing, that's the real power move.
How to stop being his ego boost. Your first question is probably, what does that even mean? Don't worry, I'm going to explain it to you. Just listen. You have to understand that rejection hurts the ego. So when a man wants a woman, he pursues that woman, and that woman rejects him, that's a hit to the ego. But there's no way he's going to spend his entire life feeling rejected. That would put his ego through the floor. No. So what does he do instead? He looks for ego boosters, and that's where you come in. Ego boosters like you are the girls that already accept him and like him for who he is, and will gladly lift his spirits up, make him feel accepted and validated and amazing and smart and intelligent and attractive, because you make the mistake of thinking telling him all of those things is going to make him like you more, when all he's really doing is showing you that attention so you can give him all the validation he wants. He can take that validation and scurry along. You get left wondering, well, what happened? I thought we were sharing a moment. No, you weren't sharing a moment. What you were doing was boosting his confidence and his ego so he can take that confidence and go try again with a new girl.
3 ways to destroy any guy's ego, and this is part 2 because you all like the other ones so much. Make sure to pay attention, especially to the last one, because that one is the biggest one. 1. Don't swipe up on that story and don't interact with their posts. If you interact with him on his socials, you're giving him the validation that he wants. But if this is a guy you like, don't do that. Slide up, interact with it, because that is going to make him more interested. But you can't be stalking him either, because guys can tell if you're stalking their profile. And that's why I tell you girls that you can know too. All you have to do is press the arrow, then go over to Instagram stories. A list of people will pop up when you do that. If you see his name on there, he is stalking you. 2. Girls, when these guys break up with you, you need to stop messing with other guys. You need to upgrade your life and make sure that you're the only girl that he wants. Messing with a bunch of different guys just makes him jealous for a little bit. But if you go ghost on that guy and get your dream job or dream car, change up your style for the better, that's going to make him jealous for a really long time.
Said how to break a man's ego, call him the wrong name. Sprinkle, sprinkle.
He's out there, this is how you destroy a man's ego. 100% guaranteed. So only do this if he actually deserves it, and not to be toxic. Number 1, the most effective one, pretend you don't know who he is. Like, girl, give Oscar. Because you gotta make him really believe that you don't know who he is. And trust me, this tip does even more damage when you guys went on so many dates and hung out so many different times. Because rather than getting mad at him or upset at him for whatever he did, pretending that you don't know who he is, will just show that you don't care. They'll probably be like, oh damn, like why shouldn't you care? Because guys are used to seeing girls get mad, upset at them. That ain't new to them. But acting like you don't know them and you don't care, that will mess with their head. Because just in general, when you forget somebody, it already hurts their feelings. So doing that after you guys spent so much time together, that is damage. Number 2, this will only work if he actually cares about you, but just ignore him constantly. Like always leave him unseen. Like if he texts you saying you want to come over, ignore it. Matter of fact, open it and let him see that you've seen it and that you didn't respond. And now if they care about you, it's gonna mess with their head. If they don't care about you like that, they're just gonna find someone else. And now if they actually care about you, it's gonna mess with their head. Probably double text you saying, oh, do you want to do something else? And then from there, the ball's in your court. And lastly, number 3, backhand compliments. Anything that seems backhanded, like for example, oh, you smell different, did you change your cologne? Will make them think, oh wait, did you think I smell bad? And it'll make them start questioning themselves, which is exactly what you need to do to break a man's ego. Now these tips are really toxic, so you gotta make sure that they actually deserve this. But if they do, hey, this is my Thanksgiving gift to you. You can thank me later.
If this guy played you, he made a fool out of you, and you want to get your league back, this is the first step to getting your league back. When they know they have the ability to make a fool out of you, it's an ego boost to them. They get pleasure using you, manipulating you, and making a fool out of you. So when you want to humble a player, you have to be very, very brutal and emotionless when you're doing it. The first point when you want to humble a player is by ghosting him. When he makes plans with you, make sure you ghost him last minute. Ghost him last minute whenever he makes plans with you. And the way you're going to do it is by being radio silent. Players are fond of doing this to women. They make plans with you, and when it's the time to pull through, it becomes flaky. So you have to learn this technique from them. You have to become flaky. This one is very toxic. Make plans to visit him in his place and go see him. When you tell a guy, especially an F-boy or a player, that you want to pull up at his crib, because they love when you pull up at their crib, they are always looking for ways to link up with you in private environments, most especially his house. So he will want you to pull up, make plans and tell him, I'm going to come to your crib at so and so time. Make him excited to receive you, because he's going to be excited, especially when you're coming to his crib. He knows he can maneuver his way, manipulate you, and sleep with you. So let him have that excitement that you're coming over, and raise his hopes to think that you're actually going to pull up. Tell him you want to come to his place at night, specifically at night. And when the time reaches, don't pick his calls, don't reply his text messages. Make sure you ignore him. It's going to get him crazy. He's going to be blowing up your phone, sending you all types of messages. And make sure before you ignore his calls and his text messages, ask him for transportation, ask him for Uber fee, ask him for whatever money you want to ask him, and give him all the assurance that you're going to come to his place, specifically at night. This guy is going to be excited. He's going to do everything in his power to impress you since you're coming over, because he's going to use this as an opportunity to sleep with you. But don't go over. Give him all the hopes, and then when it's time for you to pull up, don't show up. Don't reply his calls, don't reply his text messages. Make sure you ignore him, and then go out with another guy and post a picture about it and make sure he sees it. Go out with friends if you don't want to go out with another guy, and then when he sees it, tell him you had a change of plans, period. That is going to drive him nuts. He's going to go crazy, because this guy must have spent his whole day anticipating, thinking you're coming over. He's probably told his friends he's going to smash you, and then you don't show up and you're out with another guy or you're out with friends. He's going to go crazy. After collecting Uber fee or transportation from him, this guy will go nuts. Do this only to the guys who are F-boys and players. The next thing you're going to do to humble a player is to never feed his ego. This one is going to hurt him so much, because players live on the validation of you feeding their ego, making them feel like they are the man, and being able to manipulate you and play you. So do not feed his ego. You need to make this guy feel insecure by not feeding his ego. This is going to hurt his feelings to the core. If he is skinny, tell him you like chubby guys. If he is tall, tell him you like short guys. Or if he is short, tell him you like tall guys. If he is broke, tell him you like men with money. If he's bald, tell him you like a guy who has a thick hairline. Just do everything to make him feel like he's not all that. You need to make this guy feel like your type is the opposite of what he is. Players love to deceive women, and they love to humble women. So you have to be very brutal and emotionless about it. The next thing you're going to do when you want to humble this guy is by showing interest to his best friend. If he has a best friend that he looks up to, make sure you always compliment his best friend, always compare him to his best friend, always talk about how handsome his best friend looks, talk about his best friend's features. Make sure you show more interest towards his best friend, and you have to do it in a very subtle, manipulative manner. Make him feel like his best friend is your type. If you don't have his best friend's phone number, ask for his best friend's phone number from him. He's going to be like, what do you need his number for? Just tell him, oh, your best friend is an athlete and I just need some advice from him concerning sports, concerning whatsoever. Make a flimsy excuse. Compliment his best friend, and these compliments that you're going to give his best friend should be a compliment he can relate to. Make sure the compliment you give his best friend should be a compliment he cannot relate to. So if his best friend is an athlete, tell him you really love athletes. Tell him you really love men with money. If his best friend is rich, he's going to feel insecure. So besties, this one is going to be very evil. The next thing you're going to talk about is his performance in the bedroom. You have to crush this guy's ego. You need to bury it to the ground. Tell him his sex is bad. Tell him he's bad in bed. Tell him he's not good in bed. Tell him he cannot satisfy a woman, and this guy is going to go crazy. He's going to go nuts. Do this when the guy is really toxic and evil like that. When the guy is really that, do this only to the men who know deserve it. Don't say this to any guy who is good to you. Do this to a guy who is a typical player, a typical F-boy. Make sure that you tell him he's horrible in bed. Tell him how much of a weakling he is in the bedroom. And don't even smile when you're saying it. Make sure you're very serious. Don't even make this guy feel like you're doing this to be petty. Do this and say it like it's the truth. Because a lot of times, we women, we always hide certain things because we don't want to crush the guy's ego. We don't want the guy to feel bad. But there are a lot of these men where you need to start telling them the truth about themselves. You need to start telling them the truth about their performance in the bedroom. If this guy is bad in bed, tell him he's bad in bed. Tell him his sex is horrible. Tell him you feel nothing. Go deep into the explanations to tell him how horrible he is in the bedroom. It is going to bury his ego to the ground. The next point is treating him like an option. Don't treat a player like a priority. Treat him like an option, because players, they always treat women as an option. This guy has a lot of women who are throwing themselves at him. He has a lot of women who are running after him, who are rushing him, who want to be in a relationship with him. So you have to make sure that you're not amongst those women. You have to treat this guy the way he's been treating the women he has played in the past. You have to treat him like an option. And the best way to do it is by making sure you give him access to your phone. How are you going to do it? Put your phone in a position where this guy will go through your phone. Do it intentionally. Let me say you guys are spending some time together. Just leave your phone in the living room, leave it in the parlor, leave it anywhere he can go through it. Allow this guy to go through your phone and see the number of guys who are rushing you. Let him go through your phone and see that you have options. You are treating him like an option and not a priority, and allowing him to go through your phone and see that you have options. He should see the number of men who are running after you, who want to be with you, the number of men willing to spoil you. Let him see that you have options as well, and you're a priority to these options. This guy will do everything to impress you. He's going to be going out of his way to prove to you that he's really that guy. And make sure that the guys who are running after you are men who are out of his league, are men who he looks up to, are men who he cannot even compete with in any aspect. When he sees that men who are out of his league are running after you, he's going to feel insecure, he's going to feel small, and he's going to do everything to impress you with a bruised ego. And the last but not the least point, for all the girlies who are in relationships with guys who have played them before, and let me say you discover this guy is a player and you haven't officially ended things with him, this one is for you. If you went through his phone and you saw a couple of messages from different women, or you saw he's cheating or just using you, this one is for you. What you're going to do is play the fool that thinks they are fooling you. Play the role of the fool. Don't confront him about anything. Stay silent. Make him feel like he's making a fool out of you. Make him feel like he's running game on you. The best way to play a player is by being silent, acting like you don't know he's playing you. Behave like a fool. Make him feel like you know nothing about his game, and then pop out with another guy who's better than him in every aspect. Yes. Do you know what it means like for a guy to think he's playing you, he's making a fool out of you, and then out of a sudden you pop out with another guy who is better than him in every aspect? This is the best way to treat a player. Let him think he's the only one who is playing the game, and then you're playing him, you're 2 steps ahead of him. He doesn't know that you know he's a player, but guess what? You're also going to play that game. To be able to humble a player and play him, you need to understand their game. That means you need to play the game like a player. You have to be like a player. You have to not deal with your emotions. You have to keep your emotions aside and deal with this guy logically. You have to play the game. If you want to play football, you have to be a footballer. So if you want to play a player, you have to be a player. You need to know how to play their game. And the only way to play their game is by understanding their game and being like them. So, besties, this one, you need to be very emotionless and you need to be very brutal, because players are very brutal. They don't care about your emotions. They don't care about hurting you. They get pleasure hurting you. So you don't need to feel pity for this guy. This guy has used a lot of women. He has manipulated women. He has played women. He has hurt a lot of girls, gotten so many women pregnant, and he's gotten a lot of women pregnant and he has abandoned them. So you don't need to feel pity for this guy. You need to crush his ego, bury it to the ground. No smiles, no laughter. Do it like a pro and be better at him in this game. Make sure you show him that you're the coach. Be better at him in this game. So besties, we've come to the end of this amazing video. I hope you love this video and I hope you enjoy watching this video. Make sure you drop your experiences, drop your thoughts on the comment section. If you're ever humbled a player or maybe the reverse, drop it in the comment section. I'm dying to see them. Add more points so that others can read and learn. And I'm going to see you guys in my next video. Bye. Love you.